We are live, Sportsbook Betting Insight today. Google Hangout every Thursday, 8 o'clock Pacific. Pauly and Teddy, Western Conference Finals set. Also keep you up to date on the games going right now in MLB. Fulmer I think he was a dog, Teddy. Detroit's up 5-0 on the road in the third. Giants lead the Reds 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Couple of guys on. The Rockies are over the Dodgers 10-3, and the Diamondbacks, good pitching matchup. Greinke against Cole, 2-0 in the fifth in that one. Twins trying to hang on against the White Sox. How are you?
Yeah, we had the off pitcher in Colorado. If you bet this morning and listed your pitchers, you had to re-enter that wager because Anderson got scratched in that ball game for Hoffman. But the Rockies scored the first 10 runs. LA showing signs of life here. They scored a couple to make things interesting. Yes, and the Tigers, nothing but LA money in that ball game. Tigers were chalk in some spots, pick them in a lot of spots, and it closed. The game closed as high as LA minus 130 in that range. So it was a pretty significant move towards the Angels. So far, at least, that move is pretty much dead wrong.
Yep. Red Sox won today. Royals won today. Our play of the day, what is that, 6, 7 in a row, Teddy? Keuchel is a dog. He's been terrific, Ted. Keuchel was a huge effort on the road.
We're the worst, dude. We're not sure. It was like 6, was it 5 in a row, 6 in a row? We don't even know. We got to look it up because when you do go on a streak, it's nice to be able to talk about it. Although we say over and over again, Sportsbet is not a pick show. We're going to go through good runs. We're going to go through bad runs. But it's always better, and the audience certainly likes it better when you're going on a good run. The goal, of course, for Sportsbet is quality information that bettors themselves can use to do whatever they like with, including make hopefully winning wagers.
What'd you think of Keuchel?
I thought he was a monster today, dude.
Were you scared by the fact that the Yankees have killed lefties? 10-1 this year against lefties?
Keuchel's in and we talked about it on Sportsbet, this morning when we're saying that this is a guy who had that home road dichotomy, but it's not there in 2017. He's reached the next level. And there's another factor in play there, too. I remember, and I don't think we talked about it on the show. Remember when Keuchel went to the Bronx and pitched? It was a playoff game, and he just mowed down the Yankees. That's a play-in game, maybe even? It was an incredible pressure-packed ball game, and he went to the Bronx and mowed that team down. And I know it's a very different Yankees team now than the one from a couple of years ago, but that type of bulldog mentality is something that you don't forget. And when he's in good form, like he obviously is right now, he's someone you can make money with, like we did today.
All right, here we go. Questions, get in here, rapid fire. We're here for the next 20 minutes. If you guys want to participate, Google Hangout every Thursday, 8 o'clock Pacific. Western Conference Finals, Game 1, Sunday afternoon. What do you think of the series price? Locally, it's $1,400 at the Westgate. It opened higher than that some places offshore. Where did it settle offshore, Teddy?
Yeah, and then we also got a tweet from Eric Torres, Big Lake Show, asking about what's the early line. So both of us at the initial, we're like, all right, Golden State's going to be favored. But to see the number that it opened minus 2,500, that was a shocker for me, plus 1175. And it's been nothing but Spurs money. Now we're looking as low as minus 1,200, plus 750 at Chris. 5 dimes, minus 1,000 on Golden State. Again, this is from opener of 2,500. Now it's minus 1,000. That plus 1175 on the Spurs at 5 dimes is plus 650 right now. So it's been a heavy and significant series move. But of course, when you talk about only a handful of books having their numbers open, when I say heavy and significant, we're talking about 1/10 of what it's going to take to move a line in this series tomorrow. The books will react very quickly to money, especially big plus price money. They've been burned enough times on that sort of thing. But the incredible thing is that there's been, incredible. It's interesting to me. While the money is poured in on San Antonio for the series, Game 1, they're betting Golden State. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you bet run, don't walk to the window to bet San Antonio for the series when the Warriors are minus 10? And if they win Game 1, obviously the adjusted series price will be much better than the price you're getting right now. Or not much better, but it'll be better than the price you're getting right now.
1,600 at the Westgate, a little bit higher. They played March 29th. It was 110-98 in San Antonio. that was supposed to be a big game because the 1 seed was on the line. No Durant. Spurs were up 16 early, and then Curry and Thompson went to work in that one. I mean,
it's great. I'm shocked that the Westgate opened minus 1,600. 5 Dimes is down to minus 900 already.
Well, Jeff Sherman said he thought that he respected the Rockets, that the Rockets had a better shot than the Spurs, and said he was going to make it 1,400 if that was going to be the matchup. So he pretty much made it what he said he was going to last week. The loss of Parker, this team hasn't lost a playoff game. I think
they're about to take some Golden State money. That much I know. Or I'm sorry, they're about to take some San Antonio money. But yeah, of course, you have no Parker, you have Kawhi banged up. What's game 1? When is that? That's Sunday, right?
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. What do you think of the Rockets?
I can't explain it. It's one of the craziest. By the way, teams facing elimination are 0-10 in the NBA playoffs. Home teams, rather. Home teams when facing elimination. I can't explain that one unless Bill Simmons is right that Harden had a concussion late in Game 5, because it was in any event, it's a total no-show. No Kawhi. You're a 9-point favorite. I understand you blew Game 5, but it's not like you're up 20 points late. You're only up a couple baskets late. Kawhi wasn't out there, but you weren't up. You didn't have a double-digit lead. I couldn't believe the no-show today. Lose by 40. I can't believe it.
Once that second quarter run started, and it was San Antonio on both ends when they made that run. They got it done. I mean, it felt like they scored every possession for 10 or 12 possessions in a row. I'm sure they didn't, but it felt like that. The offensive execution was tremendous. The extra pass, the pass up the good shot for the great shot. There was a lot of that for San Antonio, but they did it even more on the defensive side. And Houston did. When a team is done in the NBA playoffs, they're done. And not surprised, Scott Schneider at Sequoia Man, 1968. Houston's fourth quarter huddle, 1-2-3 Cancun. Except that it wasn't a 1-2-3 Cancun situation. They didn't get swept out, but they sure felt like a team that was ready to go on vacation.
I can't believe the total no-show by the whole team. Gordon, everybody, Ariza. Where was the team from Game 1 that was up 39 on the road? I can't believe the turn and the big change in the series. You
say you can't believe?
Because it was a bad matchup going in. They were up 39 in Game 1. Every game was close in the regular season. They didn't play well in Game 3, and they were still in it. Game 2, which was essentially a must-win for the Spurs, the Rockets didn't play well, and they were down 3.
They didn't play well in the series. They played Game 1 well, and that was it. In the playoffs, they didn't play well against Oklahoma City.
They played well in Game 4. They scored 68 in the second half and ran them out. And then they had a nice lead. They had a 9-point lead in the third quarter of Game 5. I don't know. It was just – and the Harden pulling a Kobe Bryant, not shooting the ball. That was bizarre too. He refused to shoot in that game. I can't believe it. I'm with Van Gundy and Jackson. It just – you can't explain it. To lose by 40 and they don't have Parker and Kawhi Leonard? I can't believe it. I'm stunned.
The Kawhi thing where the markets – how many times do we talk about it? The markets are going to go nuts one way, and then we're going to see the team step up without their star player and the opposing team let down when they're not facing the star player. It's just natural human emotion. Obviously, if you had San Antonio plus the points or San Antonio on the money line, you did very, very well tonight.
Yeah, Aldridge, Guan White, he's right. Aldridge showed up. Aldridge was terrific. They didn't have an answer for him. All the Harden props were easy. And we'll talk about this on the show coming up tomorrow. Could be worse. There was a guy at CG Technology had $380,000 on Rockets money line.
Oh,
that was before the Kawhi news too.
So we got a good number.
Yeah,
substantial wager.
Oh man. All right, no guys, questions. Come on, guys. You're supposed to ask questions here. Just don't comment. Come on.
It's all right. It was just a heads up or a house cleaning note. SBR tonight. Normally you have the late night on campus show with Donnie Rightside and BMOC, but apparently there's some kind of emergency. Those guys are not going to go on after us tonight. I did a spot on that show early in the week, Paul. It was a lot of fun. We got almost 10,000 views.
Maybe someone had Rockets money line. I don't know. What's the emergency? Rockets money line, somebody? I don't know. Tough one. Reds have now tied it against the Giants. Do you have any confidence the Giants can turn this around?
No. And we talk like Toronto. Okay, there's hope for Toronto. All right. I don't think the Cubs are going to be a 500 team all year. Okay. I don't think the Indians are going to be a 500 team all year. The San Francisco Giants, they have a look and the smell of a team that's going to win 68 games when all said and done. Not a team that's going to turn it around and end up winning 85 or 88. No confidence in the Giants. What about you?
Well, they have a great manager. You get Mad Bum back maybe. But between the offense and it was a big win rallying to beat the Mets. It was 133 straight games they'd lost when trailing after 8. Maybe that could lead to something, but they're up against it certainly. A question. How about that? Finally a question. JP, what are your thoughts on Boston-Washington Game 6? I only want the favorite. The home team is 9-0 this year in that matchup.
You just came straight up.
And
you just came with the trend that the home team in these playoff games, in these elimination playoff games, is over. 0-10. And then you're telling me you want the...
Yeah, but this is 9-0. Washington, Boston, it's 9-0 straight up so far on the season. The series 5-0.
So you have strong competing trends, right? I mean, wouldn't you say?
You do. This one, yeah.
Yeah, I worry about the Wizards' mentality. I really do. That team has not responded well to getting punched in the face, and have
the Celtics?
No, they haven't either. Jeez, it's in my mind, it really is something of a tough game. But if my gut reaction, which is we're useless, my NBA playoffs have been pretty close to useless. They'd been better off if I'd have just not done anything and been useless as opposed to losing money. But I'm not in a rush to bet against Boston. I'm not. When a team's done, they're done. And I haven't seen enough from Washington when they're pushed to the brink. And they're not the better of the two teams. The bench, every single game, the bench gets destroyed. Every game, Pauly. They did a great job defensively on Isaiah. It didn't even matter the other night. Avery Bradley's draining shots.
They won't play like that on the road, though. That's where the role players will play well tomorrow for Washington. They will not play well for Boston. You won't get 29 on Avery Bradley. But again, a tortured fan base in D.C. Tomorrow, I'll disagree with this. The series price inflated because the books have a lot of exposure on Golden State to win the West in the finals. People think it's free money. They don't care what the number is. They're betting Golden State. You got guys who are betting series prices. They are betting money lines. They don't care what the line is. They're laying it. People think it's stealing with Golden State, and no matter what the line is, they're going to bet them. There ain't no straight up. I know those first 2 games at home against Utah, they were up 18. They didn't score. Only 2 points the final 2.5 minutes. The Draymond Green silly foul up 13. So there were shenanigans there. But look how they played against Utah on the road games too. I mean, they're down 17 in Game 3 at Portland, and they run them out. So people are going to lay it no matter what. They just think they're a juggernaut. It's hard to disagree.
When it comes to a series price, again, you can't price someone out of making that wager to win a title. If you talk about a point spread, a 10 can become a 12, can become a 14, and you can price a team, turn a winner into a loser based on a point spread adjustment, but you can't do that with a money line. So books always have a conundrum when they have a team like Golden State. And look, it doesn't look very likely to me that anyone can beat the Warriors. I mean, who could beat the Warriors? I mean, we do have
the Warriors. That's it. Bad shot selection, silly turnovers. And Mike Brown.
Popovich versus Mike Brown.
Mike Brown can get them. Well, the Spurs don't have enough talent. They don't match up well. But Mike Brown, the Cavs can get him because of Mike Brown. The Warriors have been outscored in the postseason in the second quarter because Mike Brown insists on that Mickey Mouse lineup to start the quarter. Number one, he's a buffoon for sitting Durant and Curry at the same time. And he puts out West, Ian Clark, Thompson, Green, and Iguodala. There's one shooter in that group. LeBron
they haven't lost a game in the postseason yet.
When you put LeBron on the floor with those 4 other shooters, it's 140 points per 100 possessions in the playoffs. If that lineup's out there against the Cavs will destroy them when that lineup's out there. And they have been outscored for a reason in the playoffs in the second quarter. Stupid. So we'll see.
How do you really feel, Paul?
Fingers crossed. Hopefully Kerr's back for the finals. They
What,
could use them.
would that set up a wager for you if Kerr was back?
That makes a big difference, yeah. I don't know what the series
Well,
price would be.
it sounds to me like you want.
Mike Brown and Steve Kerr.
But it sounds to me like you think Cleveland's live in that series, and that you would look to want to bet on the Cavs at a nice plus price, given the matchups.
Yeah, but if it's Mike Brown, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're saying hopefully Kerr's going to be back. You're not thinking like a bettor. The bettor's got to go, hopefully Kerr won't be back so I can make this wager. Right?
I'm anti-LeBron. I'm not worried about that. I don't want to see that. What do you think the Eastern Conference Finals price would be if the Celtics close it out tomorrow?
Sure.
Boston with home court.
Much
you probably get some professional money on the 1 seed in the home team. How high would they stick the Cavs series price?
I would think Cleveland in the -$2 to -250 range. I don't think, So you were talking about $3, $4. I don't think
higher. I'll say it's 4 at least.
If Boston closes out tomorrow, I'll take the under 4. And at 4, I think they'd get Celtics money.
Wow, interesting.
No
28
one's
series in a
convinced.
row. LeBron's won on the road.
No one's convinced that the Cavs have solved any of their defensive problems.
No one's convinced. What do you mean?
You think Cleveland solved their defensive issues that have been on display from?
Listen, no one's convinced. Everyone's kissing their ass. They haven't lost in the playoffs.
Sure,
Toronto missed a lot of open
You're
shots.
just yelling at the Warriors that the Warriors are playing terrible. Or I don't know that Mike Brown doesn't have the right lineup that you want. They've won every game in the playoffs too. Golden State and Cleveland are the 2 best teams, But if you look at the Cavs and the Celtics with the home court, with the Brad Stevens factor that people respect the hell out of, and if they win Game 6 on the highway and get that closeout win on the road, like we saw them do in Chicago, there's going to be a different level of respect for the Celtics in the marketplace. You look at the power rating differential between these two teams, there's a big power rating differential between Golden State and San Antonio, hence the -10 line for Game 1. For Game 1 in Boston, pick them, Cavs -1. Depends on the turnaround. I don't even know when that's set for.
Monday.
If the Celtics have ample time to prepare, have two days off before then, yeah, I'll stand that -250, -$3 max. I don't think it comes -4.
All right,
That's just my take.
Just sucked. Well, they missed a lot of wide open shots. They were 14th in the playoffs in points per 100 possessions on offense. They struggled there. No Lowry in Game 3 and Game 4 hurt. But, you guys got to give Kerr more credit. The one guy, I'm not calling Kerr a genius, but Mike Brown for Tormarino again. For Mike Brown, this is the guy who wanted to walk the ball. Well, he did. He walked the ball up the floor with LeBron in his prime. How bad does that decision look? He ran to Prince. You wanted to run the Princeton offense with the Lakers. What do you got? He got fired like 5 games in that second. So Mike Brown.
Although it's worth noting, Mike Brown, a former Greg Popovich assistant, 3 years coaching under Pop. He coached the summer league teams during that span. So if Pop sees something in him, he's not hopeless. Though he's not a coach that I would want to coach my team if I was going on a championship run. I'm getting a bunch of stuff on Twitter here. Let me take a look. Not a bunch of stuff, but a couple.
While you're looking, Guan White wants a hockey pick. Predators or Ducks? I want the Predators. You can't stop a hot goalie. Pekarine's been terrific. They haven't lost at home in the playoffs. Print the T-shirts. The puck stops here. Get them going. Nashville favored for a reason. I think they take out the Ducks in this series and go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And the Penguins. I bet the Penguins $3 to get by Ottawa, and the poor Washington Capitals blow that up. Top defenseman's out. Crosby misses time. Murray's out. Backup goalie Fleury's in. Capitals home ice, still losing 7. Get shut out. Unbelievable.
And shut out. Here's another one from Sequoia Man 1968. Scott's asking, with Familia out indefinitely, do you think the Mets overtrain continues? Almost an auto over despite their injuries.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's been crazy that run the Mets have been on with the overs.
Sure, I'm not looking to step in front of it, but I mean we're seeing stuff like the Mets, with Harvey and Garza on the mound tomorrow. The total's 9, and that tells me that the markets are there, and especially because the Mets don't have Duda, they don't have Wright. I mean they don't have Cespedes, they don't have half of their big bats, which makes me think that at least some of the Mets offense is living on borrowed time. They're pretty strong fade for me right now as well.
Okay.
Couple more minutes.
Anything else on Twitter? Yeah, good point by Brian. The East is terrible. It's that way. That's why this LeBron Jordan shit pisses me off. The East is a joke, and it's been that way for a decade. I mean,
but why is that? Why? Like, how does a conference?
I don't know.
It's more than a decade.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you go back to those teams LeBron had to beat in Miami with Indiana. It's Roy Hibbert and David West getting the ball in crunch time. Give me a break. A couple times.
David West had game during his prime. But
come on. He's the go-to guy.
Exactly. Not a team that you look at and say, oh, they're primed to win a championship.
How long has the East been awful?
Since Jordan retired.
Probably. How many rings would LeBron have if he played in the West? 1?
Depends what team he played for.
Oh.
If he played for the Spurs, or the Lakers, he might have a fair few. Now I'm curious. I want to see how many teams from the West have won, how many titles the Western teams have won for the last 20 years.
All right.
There we go. All right.
Lean on the Yankees tomorrow. That's one comment. Could be. Guan White, early 2000s East was horrible. It's been a long time. It was so good, too. That's the frustrating thing. You had the Ewing Knicks. You had the Jordan Bulls. You had Reggie Miller, those good Pacer teams. And it was just awful.
Yeah, the Pistons win in the Chauncey and Sheed Wallace year.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dwayne Wade when Wade stole, when the refs stole game 3. Remember when the Mavs were going to beat them, and then they won. They were down 2-0, and the refs literally gave Wade a foul on every single call.
Was that 04? 04, the Pistons beat the Lakers?
Yeah, that's 04. 06, Miami. 08 was the Celtics' big 3.
Yeah.
Then you had the 2 championship from the Heat and 1 for the Cavs. That's the last 20. That's since Jordan retired from the East. So there's been 6 championships, or since Jordan retired, left the Bulls. He went to the Wizards after that. But but Western, the Western Conference teams that have won, it's only been Spurs, Lakers, the Mavs won 1, and the Warriors won 1. But it's been a lot of Spurs and Lakers. What else we got? Guys?
Is Greinke throwing a no-hitter? That came in on one of the comments. Is that true?
He was.
Check that out. Well, we got something to watch here. This could be good coming up. Let me see. Yes, he's right. Through 6, Greinke's got a no-no. All right. Good info there.
Oh, it's the 6 in, right on. Something to watch. Absolutely. I like the over in that game. Oops.
You got time.
Not looking good. What's his pitch count? Greinke's at 75 pitches, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk through 6 innings.
Hey, guys, don't forget, if you're commenting, if Jordan doesn't retire, the Bulls win 8 in a row. So he's a reason Stockton and Malone don't have a ring. Kemp, Peyton, Drexler.
Drexler got a ring.
Who?
Drexler got a ring with the Rockets.
He wasn't on that team.
Yeah, remember? They got him the second year.
You sure?
100%.
100%?
100%.
Team that swept Orlando? He wasn't on that
second champion. Yes, the team that swept Orlando. He was on that team.
No way. That's lunch. He was not on that team.
Okay, dude. Here. Clyde Drexler won a title. Okay, he won. This much I know. He won a title with the Rockets.
He got it 95. Yep. Damn it.
That was that year. Yeah, that was a sweep. That was Nick Anderson missing the free throws. That's what that was.
Nick Anderson?
Yeah, missing the free throws in game 1. Remember?
Yep. Beat Drexler in Portland. I mean, the guy would have 8 in a row if he didn't retire. That's another thing too. He didn't stand
in 10 in a row if the Pistons weren't so good. Remember that Bad Boys team was really good, and the Bulls took them to the limit. But whatever, it's easy enough to say, yeah, I would have had 10 rings, but I only had 6. But there's nothing wrong with 6 rings.
You bet golf?
Not regularly, no. When I bet it, I usually bet matchups, and it's only when I've got information that I find too good to leave off the table. Why? What do you got?
Did anyone put John Rahm in your ear? This kid's one shot back at the TPC. This guy's been unbelievable, the run this guy he's been on lately in these tournaments. Not that he'll win it, but good value, one shot back. 22-1. No one's told you about John Rahm?
You just did?
All right.
What brought that up? What made you think about that?
You go to those meetings every Tuesday. I'm just looking at the internet right
now. The Tuesday group's only during football season, dude. It's not,
all right.
You know, we meet for March Madness, and that's then we don't see anyone till August again.
Patrick with Westbrook early exit, Harden no show. LeBron a good wager for MVP. That's regular season. That's already decided. They had the votes were due the 2 days after the regular season. They'll announce that June 26th. That's a regular season award, Patrick. So that's a no. They already know who's gonna win that award. Hopefully it's Harden. 22-1. God damn it! All right, very good.
You get one of those long shot Rockets tickets to cash for you.
Can't believe it. Up in flames. Rip up the future ticket at 25-1. That's it. Check out Sportsbook Monday through Friday. Betting Insight today. Deep dive on the Western Conference Finals. We'll preview Game 6. And we'll try to make it 7 in a row with the play of the day. As always, bad beats bad bets, bad for the books. Google Hangout every Thursday here at 8 o'clock Pacific. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.